You don't see him often on camera nowadays, but he's someone who led the bedrock of this RCB side. And from 2008 onwards, he was the founder of RCB. Dr. Vijay Mallya is with us. Dr. Mallya, serious things first. I'd like to address what happened in Bengaluru during the victory celebrations. What is your reaction to that, and what happened outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium?
I have been deeply saddened by the fact that people lost their lives and were injured. Those who came to celebrate a joyous,
Right,
momentous achievement never went back home. That was a tragedy in every sense.
right,
Now, who's to blame? There should be accountability, but who's to blame is something I cannot comment on. It's just a tragedy that it happened, and I have sent my heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families.
right.
Now, I read the media, and what I'm told is that the stampede occurred outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium.
Right.
Uh, there were an absolute ocean of people. I
Right.
mean, I couldn't believe what I saw on the television right from the HAL airport. And that outpouring of fan support was
Mhm.
very heartwarming to me, particularly
Right.
until this unfortunate tragedy happened.
Right.
So we shall wait, along with everybody else, to find out details of the investigation. I
Right.
believe the government of Karnataka have commissioned a court of inquiry,
Right.
and well, that's not going to bring life back, but at least those affected, the bereaved families, would have some uh, idea of what took away their loved ones.
Absolutely, and condolences from on behalf of RevSportz as well to all those who were affected during this unfortunate tragedy. But Dr. Malia, after 18 long years, the trophy is back home. Uh, what were your raw emotions during that last over? We saw Virat Kohli in that Narendra Modi Stadium breaking down in tears during the last overs. But what was happening inside your room, in your heart? Explain those moments to us, please.
Well, the minute the last ball was bowled, I guess my emotional reactions were similar to those of Virat. I mean, when I founded RCB, when I bought the franchise, and I think
Right,
I was the first one
right,
uh, to bid and buy a franchise, and obviously Bangalore. I named the team Royal Challengers, and obviously it was with the objective of clinching
hmm,
that IPL trophy.
right,
Did I think it would take 18 years? Absolutely not. Um, we tried everything, different combinations of players, impact
right,
players, marquee players, but somehow that trophy eluded us. I remember very much season two in South Africa, we were in the finals.
right,
I think we were almost there, but never got there.
right,
And every time in a big final your team loses, it is a heartbreak.
right,
But after 18 successive heartbreaks over such a long period of time, I mean, that pent up energy, that pent up emotion of joy obviously was overwhelming.
right,
And I have often heard it's not over till it's over.
right.
And even that last over from Hazelwood, I refused to take anything for granted.
Hmm.
I knew that theoretically 36 runs are possible in one over.
Right.
Um, I was there in Durban watching Yuvraj Singh hit those six sixes off Stuart Broad.
Hmm.
But as each ball passed, obviously I knew that we were getting closer and closer until,
Right.
of course, the final ball, which was hit for a six, the
Mhm.
maths didn't add up, and I knew that we had won the trophy. So, yeah, after 18 years, to see that IPL trophy in the hands of RCB was as if, that was an achievement that I set out
Mhm.
to actually achieve, but it took
Right.
a lot longer than anybody thought it would.
Right. Right. And can you give us the details of why Bengaluru, why Bangalore, why RCB? Because if I recall correctly, you went after the Mumbai franchisee initially as well. You did not get it, but then Bangalore, you are the local Karnataka boy, but that feeling of setting out a team, a local franchise in such a huge tournament, and did you ever feel that IPL will become what it has become in 2025?
When IPL was conceived, I
Mhm.
remember my meetings with Mr. Pawar
Mhm.
and with Lalit Modi,
Right.
and the way Lalit presented the opportunity of the IPL.
Mhm.
And he had, of course, engaged a professional sports marketing group, IMG, as well.
Right.
I mean, I took to it almost immediately.
Mhm.
It impressed me no end, and I said, I need to be a part of this. Now,
Mhm.
I have always believed in sports franchises.
Right.
I have always believed in building brand equity through sports franchises, not
Right.
just in cricket. You probably recall McDowell, Mohan Bagan, and Kingfisher
Right.
East Bengal. I
Right.
mean, okay, it was the same ethos, it was the same
Mhm.
objective.
Mhm.
And so I said, all right, this has got to be Royal Challengers Bangalore.
Mhm.
And you're right, I did bid for more than one because at that time nobody knew what
Right.
others would bid. It was all sealed.
Right.
And I wanted to hedge my bets. And so if I needed to hedge my bet, what better franchise than Mumbai, the commercial capital of India? But no, when
Right.
I got Bangalore, I was delighted, thrilled.
Mhm.
My hometown, and yes, so there was that was how Royal Challengers Bangalore was born.
Right.
Of course, I am deeply grateful. I'm overwhelmed by the fan support.
Right.
Uh, when I read the other day that RCB had the highest number of Instagram followers of any franchise, 20 million,
Right.
it was very, very gratifying because from the day we started with a dedicated concept of fan engagement.
Right.
So this dedicated concept of fan engagement was not just for the 2.5 month IPL period when
Mhm.
games were played. This is
Mhm.
right through the year. So we
Mhm.
tried to keep engagement with RCB fans right through the year. This was an initiative that was started back then.
Right.
Mr. Nags and the humor that goes with it. I mean, all this started a long, long time ago. And that's why I guess RCB has the kind of fan support that it enjoys.
Mhm.
But what overwhelmed me even more was the emotion. It's all
Right.
very well to have fans in numbers,
Right.
but these fans are emotionally attached to RCB,
Oh,
which is the most gratifying part.
absolutely. And I must say, I have covered IPL everywhere across the country. But everywhere, even when Rajasthan are playing Punjab, if random team is playing a random team, I have spotted RCB jersey everywhere in neutral games everywhere. That's the kind of passion these RCB fans have. And in Ahmedabad, Dr. Malia, you won't believe, I'm pretty sure you must have seen the visuals. Out of 1 lakh people, 90,000 were RCB fans. From 12
Well,
noon onwards, they flocked to the stadium outside the gate just to support RCB.
no, that was something that I saw. That itself was overwhelming. It just kind of supports the fact that there is an emotional connect. There is
Right,
a love affair between RCB and its fans.
right, absolutely, absolutely. But Dr. Malia, along with founding RCB in 2008. You gave a platform to a young star who has now become the greatest, perhaps the biggest cricketer of all time, or perhaps this generation at least, Virat Kohli. Delhi had an opportunity to get him, but they did not. They passed by. But then RCB, you gave him, you said, no, this is the future star. What was the thought process behind getting Virat Kohli, and why Virat Kohli? Because you had the option of getting others as well.
I have always believed that cricket is all about runs.
Right.
Not to say that I mean that batting is more important than bowling, but it's all about runs. If you can't score
Right.
runs in the first place, you can't win.
Right.
Now, I had not seen a lot, but I certainly had heard a lot about this young, supremely talented boy called Virat Kohli, who was a part of
Mhm.
the India under 19,
Right.
who had just won in Australia.
Right.
And so it was just natural. When my turn came to pick, I didn't even look at anybody else. I said, Virat Kohli.
Hmm.
And that's what started it. And, at the end of the day, at that moment, I know I had picked a supremely talented player. I didn't realize that I had picked what was arguably going to be the world's best batsman.
Uh, and have you enjoyed this journey of Virat Kohli to the top of the pinnacle?
Well, absolutely. I've watched him play white ball cricket. I've watched him play red ball cricket. I've watched him as captain of India. Of course, I've watched him as captain of RCB. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's magical. I mean,
Mhm.
that's why he is so respected and loved across the world. I mean,
Mhm.
here, even in England, when Virat Kohli comes out to bat, I mean, even the local British people applaud him.
Mhm.
And that applause is appreciation for his greatness.
Mhm.
But what is even more important to me is he stayed with RCB right through 18 years, has never ever played for another franchise. I mean, that itself speaks for commitment. That is true passion.
Right.
And, everybody at RCB and all the fans must thank him for
Mhm.
that passion and attachment.
Right, right. Do you recall the first conversation with Virat Kohli after RCB got him on board? Because now we see Virat Kohli as a very extremely polished guy who speaks what audience wants to listen. He's someone who expresses his emotions in a manner which other players can't. But do you recall that first conversation with Virat Kohli?
It's funny that you asked me this question.
Mhm.
In the last 48 hours, the number of
Mhm.
people who have sent me photographs of Virat as a kid when I picked him, I think
Yes.
in the first day that he adorned an RCB jersey and me, and if you look at Virat, uh, baby face Virat in those
Right.
days, with
Cheeky face,
Virat,
chubby
with
cheek.
Virat today, I mean, he's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, come on, with age comes maturity, with performance comes greatness, and he
Mhm.
has matured in every way since.
Right. Right, absolutely, and now, of course, he has achieved every trophy. IPL was the only trophy which evaded in his trophy cabinet, but that is now there. And we saw all the visuals after of Virat celebrating and shedding tears on the ground, and that's what RCB means to him. And he has always said that I will never go to any other team and will only play for RCB till I am playing. But Dr. Malia, you also talked about Yuvraj Singh smashing those six sixes, and we also had a history with RCB as well, and massive amount of money that RCB spent on him in the auction. So Yuvraj Singh, that relation with RCB, can you recall something around that?
Well, Yuvraj was also a friend of mine and a friend of my son Sid's. I
Mhm.
mean, he's one of the greatest white ball players ever. I
Right.
mean, as I told you, the fact that he smashed six sixes in Durban in front of my
Mhm.
own eyes shows his
Right.
talent.
Right.
So in this 20 over format, I
Mhm.
mean, he would obviously be a very sought after player.
Mhm.
And, well, I bought him, then we released him
Mhm.
with every intention of buying him back at the
Right.
auction. and hoping to save a little bit of money, but it went the wrong way and we had to spend a little bit more. But nevertheless,
Right.
we brought him back into the team.
Mhm.
That's how much we rated him. That's
Right.
how much we wanted him. But you
Mhm.
know, I've had the privilege of picking Christopher Grail, A.B. de Villiers. I mean,
Yes.
these are legends of all
Mhm.
time.
Mhm. And Dr. Malia, that first match of IPL, Lalit Modi in many of our interviews have said that that match made IPL what it is today. That match gave the kickstart that IPL needed. But RCB was on the other side of it. It got the brunt of it. Brendan McCullum, that innings. Do you recall? Do you recall your emotion saying, "Oh, this has gone wrong for us"?
I recall it very, very vividly. And if Lalit Modi says that is what made IPL, you're very right. It must have made IPL at my cost. You
Mhm.
know, please understand, 18 years ago, white ball cricket per se was in its infancy.
Right.
People looked at the lineup of the RCB and
Mhm.
called it a test team.
Right.
You know, uh, not meaning any disrespect to the
Right.
players at that time,
Mhm.
but we were more familiar with players' performances in the test format and
Mhm.
not so much in a 20 over format.
Right.
Of course, things have evolved and changed dramatically over the last 20 years.
Right.
Today, there are white ball specialists,
Mhm.
and there is a big differentiation between red ball cricket and white ball cricket. And
Right.
the talents, the playing styles, the objectives are very, very different.
Mhm.
I mean, one of the things that I have admired, not
Mhm.
just in RCB, but all across the teams, is the
Mhm.
number of youngsters who are just smashing more boundaries than I could
Right.
ever imagine. And
Oh,
today,
oh,
a 200 plus score is par. You know, I mean, yes, now going back to that inaugural match at Chinnaswamy in Bangalore, I had no clue. I
mhm.
don't think anybody had a clue as to what a pass score was. And
Mhm.
out came Brendan McCullum smashing the ball to every area of the park, piled on a massive total, which was, I mean, I found almost unbelievable. I said,
Mhm.
this seems to be more like a dream than reality, but okay. Um, 18 years later, I can say we've learned from it.
Right.
Uh, and IPL was always going to be a successful model because it was professionally designed and
Right.
modeled.
Right.
There were other leagues across the world, and the best of each league was chosen and
Mhm.
incorporated within the IPL structure. And
Mhm.
finally, the fact that cricket is almost a religion in India.
Mhm.
There was absolutely no question that there would be enormous and growing fan support. And
Right.
then, if you looked at it the way I looked at it on the other side of the fence about building a franchise and building a successful marketing model for my products, I
Mhm.
mean, there was the enormous untapped potential of the Indian consumer market.
Mhm.
So you have a great growing market, you
Mhm.
have brand awareness through a
Right.
sport franchise,
Mhm.
and then you have a revenue sharing model.
Right.
And that was something that I said is fail safe.
Mhm. And how did Lalit Modi pitch this tournament to you? Because at that point, yes, India had won the T20 World Cup, and suddenly this T20 format had become a huge thing. But what was the initial pitch to you from Lalit Modi and his team, who were planning on building this IPL brand?
You know, Lalit Modi first mentioned it to me as a friend, as
Hmm.
a pal. But then after
Right.
that, I visited the BCCI office. I met Mr. Pawar.
Mhm.
Lalit was working very closely with Mr. Pawar at that time.
Right.
But you know, there was a professional pitch made. It wasn't like one to one informal. This was
Mhm.
proper stuff.
Right.
And so Lalit made a pitch to whoever he could think of who
Mhm.
might have been interested in buying a franchise.
Right.
I think I was one of his easy pickings. because I was already convinced that something like this would work. I'm sure he had a more difficult time trying to persuade others,
Right.
but finally got it done. And look at the valuations today. I mean, I never even dreamt that IPL franchise would be worth what it is today.
Right, right. It is competing with the best of leagues, NBA, Premier League in England, and the valuation of franchises are almost as good as those clubs which have been there since 120 years now. So the
Yeah,
kind of steps IPL has taken in the last few years have been unbeatable in this
unprecedented.
sport.
You're right.
Absolutely unprecedented. But Dr. Malia, last couple of questions. We see Shah Rukh Khan in the stands. We see Preeti Zinta in the stands. Do you miss the action from the core of it?
You know, because I'm such a sports enthusiast and supporter,
Mhm.
I've
Mhm.
had the privilege of owning some great sports franchises. I've been several times to Kolkata, to Yuba Bharati,
Mhm.
watching Mohun Bagan play East Bengal.
Mhm.
I've been all over the world for 10 years as a Formula One team principal.
Right,
I've been almost at every game RCB ever played. And
right.
I've been there, done that, seen it all.
Mhm.
And today, in the comfort of my home on a big screen, if I watch them play, it gives me equal pleasure because what the camera shows you,
Mhm.
you can't see live sitting in the stands.
Right,
And that goes for any sport.
right,
And then you have the added benefit of expert commentators.
right.
So you can see their perspective as well.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm quite content, quite satisfied, and once again, delighted that the IPL trophy is in Bangalore.
Oh, you must be a very very happy man, very satisfied man right now. Last two questions, very quick one, very short ones. If Vijay Mallya had to pick, his three best players of RCB history, who would they be?
In Virat Kohli for sure,
Uh, Absolutely.
without any doubt.
Mhm.
Uh, I would say Chris Gale and AB de Villiers.
Chris Gale and AB de Villiers. Last one, if I have to ask you, your message to RCB team, RCB as a franchisee going forward, because sometimes we have seen in the past as well one trophy, but teams have lost their way in the high of it. But your message to all the RCB players, all the RCB fans, all the RCB officials who are managing the team right now, from Dr. Malia to the RCB.
Well, my message very clearly is congratulations. Very well done, IPL Champions 2025. Start getting used to it because you need to repeat this performance. Look at Mumbai for inspiration. Look at Chennai for inspiration. They've won the IPL multiple times, and I'm looking forward to RCB winning the IPL multiple times.
Thank you so much, Dr. Malia, for your time. It was a pleasure having a word with you. And of course, this is a high that after 18 years you have witnessed. You have got the hang of it. So enjoy, celebrate it, and I'm pretty sure you will be celebrating it for a while now. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Malia.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good day.